Goddess. 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 Oh, goddess. Oh, goddess. Goddess after God. Goddess after God. Goddess out. Goddess out. Goddess out. Goddess after.
The purple moon summon the shadows. Awaken, O three divine mothers of the night.
Goddess out. Goddess I take. Goddess I take. Goddess I take. Goddess I take. Goddess I take.
And welcome to another episode of Goddess After Dark, where we explore ancient wisdom, esoteric knowledge, and the deeper layers of consciousness that often go unspoken. I am the Goddess Southern.
And I am the Goddess Indigo.
And tonight we are diving into a topic that has been misunderstood for centuries, and that topic is rituals. For some, the word immediately brings fear and superstition, but for others, it sparks curiosity. What is rituals and what is it not? And why have rituals existed nearly every culture and civilization throughout human history? Tonight, we'll be peeling back those layers together. We'll begin by exploring what rituals truly are and what they are not, so we can separate myth from reality and gain a deeper understanding of rituals as a conscious, symbolic practice. Then Sister Indigo will guide us into why rituals matter, exploring the purpose they serve in our lives, why human beings naturally create them, and how they can help us cultivate intention, awareness, and transformation. Finally, Sister will bring everything full circle by taking us from knowledge to practice. Together, we'll move beyond simply learning about rituals and step into a simple practice that allow us to experience the power of intentional action for ourselves. So, mystics, wherever you are, take a deep breath, settle into this sacred space with us, and open both your hearts and your mind. This isn't about telling you what to believe. It's about inviting you to explore, reflect, and perhaps recognize that you've been participating in rituals far more often than you ever realized. Okay, mystics, we are going to begin. But before we begin, I do want to take a moment to take a quick puff for Sister Mystic Light. She will not be this evening. So wherever you at, grab you a cigar, your blunt, whatever you do, take a quick puff or even a shot. Give Sister that good puff, and she's here in spirit with us. Much love.
Absolutely. Okay, we give love to our sister Mystic Light. Just wasn't able to join us for this particular episode, but we just send her love and light, and knowing that she is here in soul. Okay. All right, but we're going to continue on. Her wishes were to continue on with the episode. Okay, so we're going to keep going. All right.
We definitely are. I'm going to kick it off with what are rituals, and what are they not? I have a few topics here that we are going to be talking about. Rituals on an esoteric perspective. Rituals, basically, what are they and what are they not? Rituals versus religion, ritual versus routine, ritual versus superstition, rituals as symbolic language, ritual as conscious participation, rituals as sacred technology, and then we're going to get into 4 myth busters about rituals, okay? So let's start off with rituals from an esoteric perspective, okay? Often understood as creating focused attention. embodying a chosen intention, okay? Engaging the imagination and senses. I want to dive deep on that. Imagination is more than just fantasy, it's a facility through which people create mental images, explore possibilities, and give forms to ideas before they come into action. Okay, your senses become gateways through your explore possibilities, because through those, your senses help us get the understanding through the experience. Okay, so let's start back with marking transitions. Okay, marking transitions. I would say transitions include the solstice. When we talk about the solstice, the equinox, the lunar phases, planetary cycles. You see how people get all geared up for like the full moon rituals and everything. Whether you understand these traditions or not, transitions, excuse me, or not, they help people to consciously acknowledge the change instead of just drifting through it. Okay, you're consciously aware of what's going on with the atmosphere and the energy instead of just being zombified and not knowing what's going on. Okay, so a ritual is simply a repeated action with intention and reinforces states of being. Okay, so what isn't a ritual? Okay. Rituals, you do not have to have objects for rituals or tools. Most people assume that when you have tools or objects, that's the ritual itself. The tools actually help to support, help to enhance. It's not actually something you need. Rituals aren't magic tricks. Magic tricks are for those who are good at being illusionists. I just want to put that out there. Since I see you.
Hey, no, seriously.
Yeah, but that's basically what it is. Rituals aren't shortcuts, okay? Some people get this so confused as to think that rituals is a way to escape some sort of let's say reality, some sort of personal thing that you're going through. You're going to have to actually dive deep into that. Your shadow work is very prominent and dominant through your spiritual journey. So just because you're doing rituals, that don't mean you're going to escape the shit. Okay, that's not going to happen. You got to face that shit if you're sovereign. All right, rituals are
Right.
not someone else's formula. There are many ways to do rituals. You can do a ritual your way. Sister do a ritual her way. I do my ritual my way. However the ritual goes, everyone has their own type of ritual. There's no set formula for you to actually do a ritual, just like I want to do ritual like Sister Goddess Indigo. I want to do exactly like her. Her ritual is going to be bomb. It's going to work for her because her intentions that she put in, the tools, the colors, whatever she's using for her formula for that ritual, is going to be bomb for her. It's going to magnetize whatever it is that she had intentions for. You may, have the same outcome, but it might not be as grand as, Sister Indigo's, because her intentions was for her intentions only. What is your intention for your ritual? Come up with your own formula. Get the basics, get the concept, and then put it all together. Rituals aren't about fear-based thinking. Okay, we want to get that out of your mind right now. It's nothing to be feared. It's an actual neutral thing. Actually, something you do every single day and you don't even realize it. Okay, you don't, like I said, you don't need tools. It's not a religious thing. Religion actually has rituals in it. Okay, I just want to put that out there because we
I
can get
think this is absolutely, sister. Listen, I think this is a great time to. I think it is very important to. Um, did we go over the definition of even what the word ritual means?
We did not.
Okay.
I do have that in my notes, y'all. I do have
Okay.
that in my
Okay.
notes.
Yeah, because I mean, because you that is a way to differentiate what a ritual is, and then you can put it in its proper place, so you can
Mhm.
recognize where it's coming from, like in things of religion, or different areas that rituals are performed. I know
Ashe.
you hear it online all the time, and people, something happens, an event, and next thing you know, you get a post from somebody like, "Y'all, that's a ritual. That's a ritual that happened." Well, a lot of people like don't really understand and like, whoa, what do that mean by that? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it also casts a more of a negative light on what ritual is. So I'm gonna turn it back over to
Oh,
Goddess
you
Southern.
good,
But
sister. We having a
the
whole conversation.
Okay,
She started.
all right,
I
all right.
mean,
Yeah,
when
let's talk
you
about what
come
it
on.
means so people can like, because it's the the what do you call it when something surrounds it? It's the content around it that has people confused and in fear, and they hear rituals and they automatically think the program thoughts of voodoo and witchcraft and
Mhm.
Satanism, all this other craziness that you should
Yeah.
actually look at every definition of everything that you out here afraid of and figure it
Most
apart.
definitely. And remember those topics I said that we were going over? Each topic, I'm going to tell you ritual versus religion. I'm going to tell you what the religion is, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to tell you what the ritual is. Okay? That's how we going to do it for each topic. So the next topic here is ritual versus religion. Okay? Religion, whether you're aware of it or not, often includes ritual. Okay? Religion is a structured belief system. It tells you what you're supposed to believe, who you're supposed to worship. When it comes to rituals, this is how you do this is how you do that. You can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, you can't have this, you can't have that. It's so many rules, regulation, and structure, causing those who believe in it to trust even simply acknowledging the unknown. Okay, meaning that when you trust in religion and you don't give yourself that opportunity to actually go look and search this information for self, you're going to always rely on religion and you're going to always be afraid of the unknown. You can't be afraid of the unknown. Okay. This also keeps people from even questioning what is a ritual. Okay. So, rituals is a symbolic action, it's an embodiment. Okay. Personal or communal. You can do it as a group setting or you can have it just for yourself in a personal space. Okay. Rituals require you to be present. Okay. Especially if you're doing something that's personally, tailored to yourself, you want to be fully present. You don't want any outside distractions. This is your ritual. This is your intention. Don't allow anybody or whatever distractions you have to distract you from completing your ritual, because this is for you. Okay. It helps you to experience what's sacred. What I mean by that is what is sacred to you internally. We talk about this all the time in Goddess After Dark, understanding your personal power from deep within, going deep within. Okay. Examples. Okay. Religion with rituals. Okay. Baptism in Christianity. Okay. Prayer in Islamic religion. I do remember serving, and we did like this 20-mile ruck march. Okay. There was a young lady who was Islamic, and we would take time to stop so she can have a moment of prayer. Okay. Weddings are rituals. Y'all call them celebrations, but they are ritualistic practices. Okay. Rituals without religion, lighting a candle before journaling, setting the ambiance. Okay. Taking a spiritual bath to clean your spiritual aura, to clean all of what we talked about. You have many layers of your body, cleaning that, pouring libations for your ancestors, sacred dance under a full moon. Notice how I'm saying these. These are all personal rituals that you can do with yourself. You don't have to have anybody there. Okay. Now, let's move forward with rituals versus routine, because remember, in each topic that I'm discussing, I'm telling you what is what, and you'll get the understanding along the way what a ritual is. Okay. Now, let's get into ritual versus routine. A routine is something that you repeat. You just say, like, you wake up, you brush your teeth, get dressed, you basically on autopilot. It's just something it's a norm that you do. You don't have an intention. Okay. A ritual is intentional repetition with meaning. Okay. For instance, wake up, brush your teeth, get dressed, open the curtains to get some beautiful sun, let raw shine in and kiss your beautiful skin. Okay. Take 3 conscious breaths, doing some breath work, stretching, setting the intention for that rising. This is a physical action, but with intentional experience. Okay. The difference isn't the actions themselves, but the awareness. Okay. So the formula for routine is just repeat equals habit. Okay. Rituals formula, repeat plus meaning plus presence equals transformation. Okay. I forgot to mention, make sure you have your pen and paper out. Okay. Make sure you have your pen and paper out so you can take notes. Okay. So that will be the formula between a ritual versus a routine. Now we're going to move forward with rituals versus superstition. Okay. I kind of chuckled at this because I was like, man, a lot of people actually do this too. And I know some. Superstition, a belief that certain actions or objects automatically causes specific outcome.
Goddess. Goddess.
Yes. Yes.
Goddess. If you could repeat that title right quick, I'm sorry to stop you, but the
It's okay.
audio was kind of choppy for a moment. If you could repeat that title you just said,
Okay.
I think you said ritual to superstition.
Yes. Ritual versus
Okay.
superstition. Okay. That's
All
the
right.
topic
I just
we're
wanted
on.
to make sure the people hear.
Okay, love. Okay, that's all good. So ritual versus superstition. Superstition, like I was saying, is the belief that an object or action, it brings some sort of outcome without clear evidence. Say, for instance, somebody wearing their lucky socks. Oh, these socks gonna bring me $1 billion. Oh, these socks gonna make my team win. I gotta wear these socks every day at this hour so that I can make sure I can get XYZs on. That's a superstition. Okay. Ritual is about the meaning that the act holds for the individual. Okay. For example, taking a few moments to pause and breathe, center yourself before you go out and play the best performance that you possibly can if you're a football player or if you are a musician. Just taking that moment to center self. Many have planned for this so that, they can center themselves, relax the body, and say, okay, I've completed my ritual. I'm centered. I can move forward with having the most astronomical ass performance there is. Okay. One is about assigning power to an object itself. Did you hear what I said? One is about assigning power to the object itself. And I just said,
Okay.
when it comes to rituals, you do not need tools. Tools are just supportive enhancements, however you want to say it. While the other is consciously shaping one's state of mind, intention, and attention. Okay, because you have to be present in your own ritual and for that shit to be powerful. Okay, now, if you distracted in your own ritual, how do you expect the shit to be powerful? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. So ritual as symbolic language. Okay. Before written language, we had signs and symbols. Okay. Because our subconscious mind speak through signs, symbols, you know, that's what we had before, language became a verbal thing. Symbols are the anchors for the intention of the ritual. Okay. Symbols is also how, like I said, your subconscious mind speaks. So your conscious mind speaks verbal language, but your subconscious mind speaks through imagery, speaks through signs, symbols, whether that is fire, water, trees, even, music, visualization, storytelling. When you have your emotions, your different types of emotions. Remember how I say, It's about the experience, okay? Your emotions. When you're feeling those emotions, you're allowing your subconscious mind to get that experience, okay? Music, the sun, the moon, these are all different types of signs, symbols, and synchronicities that you can speak to the subconscious mind, okay? Okay. Okay. All right. Now, rituals as conscious participation. And I want to say this, family, some don't realize that you participate in rituals unconsciously and don't even realize it. You actually do. Um, Say, like, for instance, you're standing up to for the national anthem. That's a form of a ritual. Okay. National anthem, standing up for that. Okay, like I said, participating in like wedding ceremonies where they exchange the rings, or what about that one where they light the candles, the two separate candles, and they bring it to the center. All of this is rituals that you participating and you don't even realize it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Instead of drifting through life and reaching to what if you participated consciously instead. Let me say that again. Instead of drifting through life, what if you consciously participated? Instead of waiting to feel grateful, practice gratitude. Instead of waiting to feel peaceful, create a sacred, peaceful space. Instead of waiting to feel confident, embody confidence through action. Okay, these are some examples that you can do. Stop waiting and just do. Bars, do it all the time, y'all. Okay, ritual shifts us from passive observers. I call them passive passengers. Okay, you're just sitting in the passenger seat while somebody else drive your car or your spaceship or whatever, But with rituals, like I said, it shifts us from passive passengers to active participants in shaping our habits, our attention, and our values. Okay, rituals as sacred technology. Not necessarily electronics. You do know that your body itself is a form of your own sacred technology. You know how they say your mind is basically like a cloud, a computer. So let's think of it like that. Kind of technology for directing attention, marketing important moments, strengthening memory, and for cultivating a chosen mindset. Repeatable methods or processes designed to produce particular results. These are what rituals, far as sacred technology, would that would be the answer. Well, that would be the example of sacred technology when it comes to rituals. It's basically all about you embodying that and understanding your own power. Hopefully you guys got that understanding. I affirm that you got that understanding, because that's what this is all about, basically tapping into your own power and understanding that. Okay, so now we have come to some 4 myth busters. Okay, I love this one. Sister Indigo sent me these, and I was like, oh, these are awesome here. Okay, myth buster number 1: rituals are evil. What? Now, this is through cultural and religious perspectives, okay, that people think this. Okay, so if you take away birthdays, if you take away weddings, if you take away funerals, graduations, national holidays, moments of silence, prayers before meals, baby showers, anything that requires a communal celebration or even to yourself, if you take all of that away, would you still consider rituals evil? I want you to think about that.
Hmm.
You
Well,
already partake. That's a good question. You already partake in these rituals anyway. So when you take these away, what's left? Think about that. Think about it.
absolutely.
Most
Absolutely.
rituals, yeah, most
Amen.
rituals are, most people feel rituals are evil because they fear the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people fear the unknown because the unknown, you have to relinquish control at times and allow things to flow, trust in your universe. And a lot of us, and I know this is something that I dealt with in the past, where I wanted to control everything. I wanted to know what was coming, what's next, what's this. That's not always that's not always the key, baby. You got to let that go and allow it to flow. Trust in your universe. If you don't trust in the universe, you don't trust in your own divine power.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I wanted to add something to the feeling of the fear in
Go
itself.
ahead. Sis. Go ahead.
Ties into the fear of the unknown. It
Mm-hmm.
also comes from the unknown knowledge. So
Mm.
you are told certain things and you are just going off someone else's ideal and thoughts and
Mm-hmm.
haven't gathered that own sovereign thinking that we push here on this particular channel. I mean, we don't push much, but we want you to absolutely be a sovereign thinker, and operate into your sovereignty. And that includes the thinking where you are looking up and knowledge and gaining the knowledge for yourself. Well, okay, if this is so evil, let me find out why it is. I
Yeah.
mean, are you literally just a follower? Are you just taking the word of everybody or the person that donated that, or not donated but created that, to be evil? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Or name duped it that as that name or something. Like, are you just gonna follow them? That's all you do. You don't have a mind of your own. You're not any type of leader or anything. You know, those are questions you want to ask yourself, because a person like me, who is absolutely not a follower, I'm a strong minded person, is, if you like don't do something, I'm gonna find out why. Because who the fuck is you? Let
I'm
me
telling
find
you.
out, you know, why am I feeling like this? And at the end of the day, if I read something and still came to that conclusion, then that's what it is. That's what I found out for myself. Okay. But
And
the
when you
point
do
is,
that,
so, you know.
yes. I love that, individuals like ourselves do that, because when you do that, you realize you're like, oh, this is what they afraid of. Oh shit, nigga, let me go on to the next thing. And you realize the knowledge that you just discovered, it doesn't harm you like you thought it did. It does nothing but intensify your wisdom. It helps you elevate even more. It opens your consciousness, expands it to even more wisdom and knowledge. And I was going to get into the next one, about historical conflicts, sister. This is another one, why most people feel that rituals are evil. Historical conflicts, that we've dealt with from past. I want to say, how we was just saying it earlier, how, say like for the Super Bowl, they always talk about, oh, they do rituals and this, that, and the third, and you just got to pay attention to the ritual, or he wore a dress on S&M, that's a humiliation ritual. It be stuff like that. Do you have any other like historical conflicts that you can add to that would help our audience understand other reasons why people feel rituals are evil?
As far as on a historical level,
Yeah.
um, it really stems from the Catholic Church. Really, they set the bar upon what's evil and what's demonic, and gave these particular names. And when if you continue to research deeper, you'll find that some of these things, even the names that they've appointed to certain things, does not even mean that at all. You know, so that's where a lot of is historic on a large historical level, because let me tell you something, your ancestors, without that particular entity, the Catholic Church, we were in our own practices and we didn't
No,
have fear.
no, we didn't.
There was
We didn't.
nothing to fear because we understood is more of understanding and a knowing of how nature works, how things work. It wasn't nothing to fear. You wasn't scared of it. You understood it. Okay.
You was
And
one with
so,
nature at that time too.
I mean, we just knew the rhythm of things. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so that's going to be your historic pinpoint to all of that, to all of the naming, the shaping of this particular existence that you are familiar with currently.
Ashe, sister. And my third bullet point on why rituals, some people feel is evil. We just mentioned it. They're afraid of certain symbols because they fail to gather the knowledge for themselves. And I know one symbol in particular that a lot of people are fearful of. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna say Baphomet. Okay.
Baphomet.
A lot of people are afraid of that symbol. They are afraid of that symbol. You really have to go out there and get that knowledge for yourself to understand, especially, our melanated brothers and sisters to understand this is your wisdom and knowledge. You're running from yourself. You're allowing
Okay.
someone else to tell you that this is evil, keeping you away from you. Whole time they're using your shit behind your back.
In your face. Forget behind your back. In your
That,
face.
that, that too. They being more vocal about it now. You just gotta listen and you gotta really see. Open your eyes to see. Okay, but sister, I knew I was gonna come with that one. Okay. Myth
Okay.
number 2. Only witches perform rituals. Now who the hell said that?
What is a
Who
witch and
said that? First, what
start
is a
there?
witch? What is a witch? Okay. What
Okay.
does a witch mean to you without the outside conditioning understanding that you were given? Now, to me, I did a little research on witches myself, started diving deep, understood that it goes back to the melanated woman in general. I'm gonna say that one. That's where my research took me. But it basically ended up being a word of wisdom, you know, a melanated woman, goddess, however you want to address, we goddesses here, who is very wise, very powerful. Okay. She's solid in her divine power and knowledge. Basically, that's it. That's my understanding. Now, Sis Star, do you have a different perspective of what a witch is?
No, I think we've done almost pretty much close to the same research in that regard. But just if, from the basis of it, but I do know just in a whole, you look at the lineage of these particular words and you can find when they actually enter into history in itself or into the story
Mm-hmm.
itself,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll find where that term, originated from, you
Ashe.
know, and
Ashe.
decide for yourself if because me, I'm the type I need to go further back before certain influences.
There you
I
go.
prefer that knowledge and let me take that for myself, and of course still discerning because I'm not saying that every step or every stage of knowledge didn't have some sort of influence. However, I do am quite aware of a particular type of influence, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that changed the narrative and continues to try to change the narrative. You
Ashe.
know what I'm saying? So I choose to give me some old content. Let me go back before those, let me get some ancient studies going here and
Ashe.
start interpreting these and then that also caused to tap into myself because I'm tapping into that DNA memory that's within and allowing those ancestors and those spirits, those dua, to speak and also tell the truth. Because there's no lying, there's no need to. What is that for? That's strictly a human. Remember, when your ancestors and all spirits, they are not human no more. So those human attributes you want to put at them, those emotions that only humans do because they're coming from a place of ego, does not exist. So there's no need to lie about certain things. Because for what? What is the gain?
That's the question you be asking yourself. Why they doing all of that to keep this
now you
knowledge?
do got some tricksters. I do get that. But this is all about establishing the relationship with your trusted. And I'm not saying just pick up any old I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is establishing that trusted relationship, and then there forward you shall have your truths in all that you seek.
Ashe, I love how you said that, sis.
Okay.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. So let's run that birthday celebration thing back. Okay. Let's do like a little practical visualization. Imagine we standing around. Let me not say we, because I'm not there. All right. Imagine you gathered around at the celebration. Y'all singing the song, Happy Birthday. Then you're blowing out the candles. Would you consider yourself a witch then? I'm just saying. Standing for the national anthem, graduates in their cap and gowns as their families, blow the little horns and pop the balloons and all that kind. Would you consider them witches too? Okay, exchanging wedding rings at a wedding. Like I was saying, taking the candle flames and are they witches too? Like these are questions that I had. Like, why aren't we thinking about these simple tasks that get done on a daily basis? I'm sure there's people who get married every day. You just don't know everybody. People who graduate every day. You just don't know. We do this every single day. Are you considering these people? These are your loved ones, your friends, your families, your co-workers. Are you considering them witches? Hell, do you consider you a witch? Did you think about it? Okay. It looks different.
Good.
Yes, sis.
Whatever you choose, get the knowledge on it first. That's all we trying to say. Whatever you choose to be.
Pick one. Hell. Just be you. It looks different because the language and symbolisms may seem different, but they have the same intentions that you partake in, and you don't even realize that you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Myth number 3, rituals are about controlling people. Ooh, we kind of touched on this a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
History up until now, in these societal streets, you hear and maybe even see how it can be used to do so. Some people utilize rituals to, how would I say, intimidate people, induce fear based thinking due to those whom intentions are to control people. That's their intentions for that ritual. And because you give into that, you allow yourself to be controlled. You don't have to give into that. You can shut the TV off.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel this way, I say to you, you have the power to reject it. Oh, I don't resonate with that. That's not for me. Oh, that's the type of time you on. That ain't for me. I'm the commander of my own ship. I got this right here. You don't have to give in to that. Not everything you see on the news, on the TV, whatever it is, you don't have to give your energy to that, because that's basically what you're doing. When oh man, they done got so-and-so again. Oh man, we done lost the football team. Like you're so emotionally invested in it. Now you're leaking power. Now you feel like the ritual is controlling you because you allow your power to be leaked. Are we thinking about these things? Do you have to listen to this individual? Do you have to pick up that program? You don't have to. You have a choice. You have a choice. Take your ass outside and go get some sun and put your feet in the grass and recenter yourself. Call your power back. Okay. When you give
Okay.
into it, then that's where the controlling narrative comes in. Rituals can simply be used for your own personal power. Okay. Reflection work, healing, remembrance of your divine wisdom, just going back to you. Creativity, you can establish internal self discipline, personal growth, and showing gratitude. Okay, these are things that you can do when you cultivate your own ritualistic formula. Okay, we're on our last myth. Okay, myth number 4, magic is outside of you. Oh, wow, this is some bullshit. Okay.
Yes, it is. It is some bullshit. Okay, that part.
The bulliest
That
of shit. Okay, everything starts internally. Okay, even if you choose to utilize physical tools, it starts internally. Okay, I know they're physically outside of you, they're external objects, but you had the thought internally, you have the internal intention for that tool. Everything starts internally, therefore your magic starts within. You should not ever be looking outside of yourself for magic. Your magic is here. You just got to see your own magic. You just got to see your own magic, okay? No one may not know why you're using these tools. That's none of their business. What was your intentions for these tools? You stick with that internal intention for these tools if you chose to do so, and move on with your ritualistic practice for self. Now, I do know there are some people who don't utilize tools and they can just simply sit down and have a thought, okay? Centering, meditation. Hey, the intention of having that meditative, quiet, sacred space for self, that right there is your own personal ritual in itself. But overall, everything that you think of internally, your magic is there. And whatever internal instincts or your divine internal self, your God self, told you, hey, go get this candle, this color, this, that, and the third. This is the intention for this candle, this, that, and the third for this ritual. That's what you do for you. Remember, our subconscious mind speaks through symbols and imagery, so that is how you build a close relationship with yourself. Okay, let's start changing our perspectives on that aspect. When you observe and think about what we have discussed here, you understand where you stand in this discussion about rituals. Okay, I do have 2 questions. Okay, have you done yourself a disservice by allowing outside conditioning to shape how you view what rituals are to you? Or are you fully aware of your own ritualistic practices? And what are those? And how do they make you feel internally, all throughout? Okay, what you're feeling in here is going to exude out here. So whatever's in here is going to project out here. So how do you feel about your own ritualistic practices? Okay, so
okay.
overall, basically you have the whole understanding that rituals is a creative focus intention that you have for yourself. It's an embodiment that you choose for self, helps you cultivate your inner divine power, your inner divine wisdom. You build a stronger relationship with your conscious and subconscious mind. I say both because they're working together. The conscious mind learning to shut the hell up so the subconscious mind can speak. Okay, so that is my segment on rituals. I'm going to pass the mic to my big sister, Indigo. Indigo, you got
Yes.
the okay.
Okay. All right. So, y'all, it's good. It's good here, y'all. It's good. So we're gonna move on so we can get to the jewel of the episode. It's all jewels, first of all. It is all jewels, right? But let's talk about why rituals matter. All right. The
Mm,
hidden mechanism of transformation.
come on now.
All right. Because
What
we
we
got all jewels here. Okay. And we want y'all to have all of the knowledge. All right. So now Goddess Southern has laid out the foundation for why rituals matter. Truly, matters. I want to take us a little deeper into why rituals matter um, in our spiritual journey in itself, right? And this won't be some kind of light a candle and hope something happens type of version type shit. You know what I'm saying? No. But we are talking about the mechanisms of ritual and rituals in itself, the occult and esoteric mechanisms, right? The inner technology behind the practice, because God has talked about the technology in itself and what the technology is, right? Because when you understand why something works, you stop practicing from fear and superstition and
intimidation.
intimidation. Right, right, right. You start practicing from knowledge in itself, right? And that is where the true power begins. Right?
Ashe.
One of the books that I'm going to showcase, now I did showcase, and I'll show the slide towards the end just so you can have that book knowledge. I always want to give you a way to discern for yourself. I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm not your savior. Nobody's coming to save you but you. So all I'm doing is merely highlighting the tools, right? So one of the books that I showcased, that I'm showcasing tonight in tonight's episode, is really a must-have as an occultist. You must have this book, and even as a practicing magician, it's a must to have this book. You know, and that is The Magician. It's a study in effective magic by Philip Cooper. And one thing that I appreciate about this book is that it brings magic down to the function, right? It strips away all the theatrical parts that says, in essence, magic is not about costumes, titles, and dramatic performance and all of that. The woo-ha, it's not
Not
really about
the illusionist, basically, sis.
the illusionist, right? Magic is actually about controlled thought, your will, your imagination, belief to result, to your result, right? And that is important because ritual without conscious is just movement, just moving in itself. A ritual without intention is just a habit, because God has told you what ritual actually means, the definition of it. It's putting something in practice. But if you don't have any intention behind it, it's just a habit. It's just something you do, right? A ritual without inner participation is really just a performance. Okay. But a ritual with focus intention with becomes a bridge between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, the body, the spirit, and the unseen forces that move beneath the surface of our reality, right? So why does rituals even matter? Why do they matter? Why we have this conversation? You know, they give intention to your body or to a body. You know, they give your desire a structure, right? Because if your desire doesn't have a structure, what are you doing? You're just hoping and wishing.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Hoping and wishing. You know,
Wishing, hoping.
they give your energy somewhere to go because energy is forever moving. So you have now gave your energy instruction on the direction it needs to go, because that's what it needs. It needs you to direct it. Your energy shouldn't be out here rogue, okay, being fondled by everything. You know, that's not the goal of it. You know, a person can say that they want transformation, but they never create a container for transformation to even happen. You know, you wishing and hoping. Again, that's the wishing and hoping. They think about changing. People think about changing. They talk about changing. I know you've seen and heard that plenty of times. You very well may also do that. We've all done it. Okay. They post about changing. Oh my gosh, those that post their entire fucking life. They'll post about changing. I think I need to make a change. Change is in order. And then next year in their memories, they're saying the same thing. I think I need to make a change. Change is in order.
Yes, it's Facebook is so good at reminding you. Oh, remember this a year ago?
You were still gonna make a change? Have you made that change? Is what it's saying. It's just so like, look, have the change been made, or we still thinking and talking about it and posting about it? Okay. But however, ritual, it asks the question. These are some questions the ritual asks you when you're doing it. It says, I wrote them in my notes here. We got, are you willing to sit down with yourself? Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay. Are you willing to focus your mind? Hello. We're here. Hello. Okay. Are you willing to choose one clear intention? Can you do that? Are you willing to symbolically and energetically participate in your own transformation? Are you going to post about it?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because that's the difference. Ritual is participation. It's not passive whatsoever. It's not begging. No, ma'am, no, sir. No begging. We do not beg. Who are you begging to? Okay. It is not wishful thinking or all of those things. None of that. It is the conscious act of aligning the inner world with the outer world. Right? So that brings us back to the Hermetic principles that we covered in episode 3. Right? So in the Kabbalion, one of the fundamental principles is mentalism. I think I covered that one for you guys. And the ideal is that the mind is not separate from reality. Mind is involved in reality, right? Consciously participates in consciousness itself, participates in the manifestation, right? So when we perform a ritual, we are not doing something random. No, because remember, we're doing intention here, right? But we are working with the principle that consciousness matters. So we're reaffirming that within ourselves that, hey, the conscious matters in itself. The thought matters. The image matters. The words we're saying matter. The emotion matters. The symbols matter. The repetition matters, because remember I told y'all before how repetition, it programs your subconscious. That's how it's programmed there, right? McDonald's all day.
All of that. Or don't forget Burger King. Have it your way.
Huh?
You got the Burger King one too. Have it your way. Y'all probably know the Popeyes will love that chicken from Popeyes.
Love that. That's all it gotta have is on repeat. Now it's in your subconscious. So because all of these things impress upon your inner world, your subconscious. That's your inner world, right? And once your inner world / subconscious is impressed, the outer world begins to respond accordingly to the patterns being created. Simple. It's simple as that. It is really that simple. Okay? Cause and effect. It's another Hermetic principle we talked about. Okay? I suggest y'all take a look at that episode as well. Get your fundamentals down so you can understand where, we're bringing these concepts to you, because it shapes your reality. All right. So back to what we were saying, right? And so this is why you can't come into ritual scattered, careless, fearful, performative, or expect deep results, right? Your state of consciousness is part of the ritual in itself. Your nervous system is part of the ritual. Your breath is part of the ritual. Your body is part of the ritual. Your ability to focus, that is also part of the ritual. This is why the ritual has been practiced across ancient cultures, mystery schools, initiatory systems, ancestral traditions, also magical practice for thousands and thousands of years. Not because our ancestors were ignorant, no. Okay. Not because they were superstitious or because they didn't know better, but because they understood something that modern people are trying to remember, what has not been remembered, right? Is that the unseen and the unseen are connected. They go hand in hand. The inner world and the outer world mirror each other. Your subconscious, your conscious and your subconscious actually mirrors each other, right? That's your inner world and your outer world. The physical object can become a vessel for spiritual intention, right? The symbolic act can communicate with the subconscious mind in a way plain words cannot. Matter of fact, I know for a fact I've told y'all before, this is in my face, I told y'all before, the subconscious does not speak in words. It will not say hello. It will not say, hey, are you doing well today? No, it's going to speak in symbols. That's the way it speaks. And symbols include, you know what symbols are, not words. It does include numbers. So those are symbols. So now that we know the subconscious, again, I reaffirmed it does not speak in words. That is correspondence. Your conscious and your subconscious together, that's your as above, so below. As within, so without. The candle on the altar is not just a candle when it has been assigned a purpose, right? The salt is not just salt when it has been placed there as a symbol of purification, grounding, or boundaries. The paper is not just the paper that when it carries the name, the emotion, the patterns, the attachments that you are ready to release. All right. The flame, baby, it's just not fire when it becomes the visual image of transformation. You literally see the paper from solid
to ash,
smoke, and ash. It literally transformed in front of your eyes, which your subconscious is looking at that like, oh, a change has happened. Okay. That's how rituals work. It takes something ordinary and gives it a sacred function. And I want to pause here because this is where a lot of people get confused. They get confused, goddess.
I know they do.
The object is not doing the work by itself, right? I got this little, I don't know, let's use this little piece of sage. The sage is not doing the work. You probably can't even see it. The sage is not doing the work, right? It's not the object. The tool is not more powerful than the practitioner.
It's just a part of the team, baby.
Part of the team, right? It's being used. The candle is not the source. The crystal, the herb, the altar is not the source. The practitioner itself is the living instrument. The tools help us to focus the instrument, right? The tools help us to speak to the deeper mind. The tools help anchor intention into the physical world. But if you are not present, the tools are just the object. They're just something that you have. A bunch of crystals on the table. Ooh, they pretty. They sparkle. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So this is why buying more spiritual supplies does not automatically make someone more powerful. You can have a wall full of spiritual supplies. Baby, I got to order herbs here for ya. I'm so spiritual. I got every herb you can see here. 3 herbs. I'm not clowning nobody. I'm just being silly, y'all. But that doesn't make people think that. People think that. I mean, I know you've seen people out in public, and it's cool for your regalia. Please, if you want, that's how you are showing up in this realm. You are your own physical altar. You are an altar. But I know you've seen it. People, they got 1,000. Now, first of all, if you did your knowledge, you wouldn't have on 55 million crystals at one time because they're going to cross each other out.
Bro, you might pass the hell out too. Got all that shit around your damn neck and
All
carrying
those
on.
energies is
Breathe.
going everywhere. The energy is like, what are we doing? We don't know. You don't have direction to the energy.
They're
But they
like,
think they all that on it. They're all that powerful because they have every spiritual tool they own on a person. Right? But that's not what it's about. Okay.
mhm,
Power is not about how much you own. Power is in how well you direct yourself. Right?
beautifully said.
Power is in clarity. Power is in discipline.
It's true.
Power is in understanding. Power is in alignment. Okay. And this is also where alchemy comes in. Alchemy, alchemist. All right. So I also have a book here that we took a look at, and I'll be sharing with you all is the Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy.
Ooh.
Simple in that. No one's calling you an idiot. Don't get out those egoic. You're in your ego, all in your fields, because you seen a word that said idiot.
Look up the word idiot head.
I'm about to look that up. Okay. But basically, it's simply a practical guide. These books and things are not textbooks and something very hard that it takes a scholar to understand, a rocket science. No, these are practical guides and practical books for you to get the basis and the gist of, so that you can come to your own understanding.
I want to
Okay, and
ask
come to your
sis,
own practices. Yes, sis.
with that, when you tap into the knowledge and wisdom from these books, you never know. Once you tap into that, you might unlock some sort of remembrance within yourself. Oh, I needed to read that sentence, or I need to read that paragraph. You then unlock something within yourself, finding the keys in these books. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Absolutely. And that's what it's about. That's why you tap in to yourself. And when you read these books and get this knowledge, that's when your DNA memory starts to pop up. It comes online. And you get those what people call crown loads or downloads. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. So in this book, alchemy is defined very plainly as part of transformation. The goal of alchemy is to change something from one state to another, to refine it, to elevate it, to purify it, or to bring it closer to its perfected expression. That's what alchemy is, right? And that book is a great guide to teach you those bases of alchemy. Because a true magician is an alchemist. All right.
Notice sis said alchemist, not illusionist. Just want to put that out there too.
Alchemist. Right. Yourself, your spiritual work, you should become an alchemist at the end of it. An occultist is an alchemist. Okay. All right. So that is exactly what ritual does when it is practiced consciously, right? Ritual is alchemical. It's an alchemical process. It takes fear and transmute it into courage. It takes grief and gives it a vessel. It takes confusion and gives it direction. It takes stagnant energy and sets it into motion. It takes your unconscious attachment and brings it into conscious release. This is why ritual matters on your spiritual journey, because the spiritual path is not just about knowing things, it is about becoming something. It's about allowing knowledge to change you, to transform you, right? You can read every occult book in the world. You can study every symbol. You can memorize every correspondence, everyone. You can know every deity, every planet, every moon phase, every damn herb, every freaking candle color. But if you never apply the knowledge, then the knowledge remains outside of you. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to repeat that. Hi, is sister there? I was trying to put me up, but I guess I don't think I can do it. Oh, wait a minute. I can. I'm right here. Okay. If you never apply the knowledge, then the knowledge remains outside of you. Outside of you. It's not in you. Okay. All right. I just wanted to hit that out. Okay. We just need to get that out because that was important.
That was beautiful. I love the eyes that you brought with it too.
Okay. Okay. Because I wanted to get it in right quick. Get it in.
Got it in for sure.
Okay. So ritual brings the knowledge into the body, right? Like I was stating. And the ritual makes the teachings live. It brings it alive, basically. So ritual says, I don't just know transformation. I didn't just know transformation is possible. I am willing to participate in my transformation. These are things you have that realization for yourself. And this is especially important when we are talking about energetic sovereignty, which that was our last episode 8. Okay, check it out. Check it out. Because in this previous series, we talked about aura cleansing. Matter of fact, the goddess Southern talked about aura cleansing so beautifully. And our guided mystic light, she talked about the energetic vampirism. And I talked to y'all about energetic cord. I ain't gonna review the whole episode. I just wanted to bring that to light because we talked about ways, people, places, patterns, memories, trauma, grief, old lovers, family systems, past versions of ourselves can continue to occupy space in our energetic field. That's what that was all about, right? And awareness is the first step. But awareness alone is not always enough, y'all. Sometimes you need a sacred act. Sometimes you need to mark the moment. That's a ritual. Sometimes you need to tell your body, your mind, your spirit, your energy, your soul, all of the above. We are done carrying this. We are done feeding this old energy. We are done leaking energy here. We are done confusing attachment with love. We are done allowing old cords to dictate our present reality. This is why cord releasing rituals matter, right? Not because we are attacking someone. That's not what it's about. And if you're in it for that, I mean, just remember the correspondence, the law of correspondence with the seven Hermetic principles, as above, so below. So you can go ahead and negatively attack someone if you like. It's okay. You have that freedom.
No.
You may look around and find out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a choice. I mean, if you consciously make that, so be it. That's your choice.
Yes.
Just know that, you know, this is a dualistic reality. You know, you have the law of rhythm with the pendulum. It will swing one way, but for sure it's gonna absolutely swing the other way. You know, I need to get a wig right quick of this water, y'all, because I've been talking and we're gonna finish this out. So we can get to the next section. But it's not about trying to dominate anybody. We're not trying to having a cutting cord or releasing ritual is not about that's just one example. We're going to talk about that one because that's the ritual we're going to perform and on a practical level and show you how to do today. So, but it's not about trying to erase the past from anyone. That's not the goal. That's not what we're teaching. It's not what we're showing you, because we are reclaiming what we're trying to do, or what now let's leave word try out. Clear cut canceled. What we are doing is reclaiming energy that already belongs to us, belongs to you, right? We are taking responsibility for our own energetic field. We are choosing to no longer be unconsciously tied to what has completed its lesson in our life. And guess what that is, y'all? That's alchemy. That's alchemy. That is a mental transmutation. Okay? That is ritual and sacred technology. Now let's talk about why repetition matters. Let's talk about that briefly. Ritual is powerful because it trains the mind through repeated symbolic actions. Every time you cleanse your space with intention, you are teaching your subconscious what clarity feels like. Every time you light a candle with purpose, you are teaching your mind to focus. Every time you speak an affirmation with authority, you are teaching your body to recognize your own voice as law within your own energetic field. Right? Every time you close your ritual properly, you are teaching your nervous system. And what did we say your nervous system is? Anybody remember? Got it? What's your nervous system?
Oh, that's your divine power. That's your alchemy. You're an alchemist there. You know,
That's your chakra system. Right.
Oh,
Right. Your nervous system is your chakra system. Right. And
everything.
teaching your chakra system, your nervous system, that sacred work has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Right? It doesn't continue on. You don't start it and it just drags on forever. Because when we bring up old wounds and old conversations and replaying it, I just talked about this in the last episode. You are re-triggering your nervous system every single time.
Yeah. You
So when you
talked
try to put yourself into a wound, right? Yeah, you're bringing it back up. You're open. You're pulling off the scab repeatedly. Especially, and I want to be clear. I know that to get through a process, sometimes you have to replay it, right? I am specifically speaking on things that you have moved on and healed from, right? And I do want you to actively work through the things that you're working through, because you shouldn't be stagnant in that place where it lingers on.
Right.
I am telling you that. Heal through it. And then once you heal through it, do not bring that back up. You have released it. Cut it. Let it go. Because you're just going to reopen your nervous system all over again. And that matters. Right? Because you're opening energetic doors all day long without knowing how to close them. Right? They enter into conversations. These are those energetic cords. You know, they enter into conversations, they carry residue. They scroll through social media and absorb that frequency. They go into work environments and bring that weight home. They give emotional access to people who have not earned spiritual access. They keep replaying memories and wondering, why do I still feel drained? Because that's what happens. You're pulling on it. You're still pulling on it. So this ritual becomes a way of training your energy, right? It teaches how to enter, how to focus, how to release, how to close, how to return to self. This is why rituals do not have to be elaborate to be effective. As long as you cover those bases, you will be successful in your endeavors, right?
Mm-hmm.
They need to be clear. That's what they do need to do. It needs to be intentional. I'll write that down. I ain't tell y'all. You see, the guy is got a book and pen and paper. Follow lead on the picture. Follow the lead so you can know.
I said it earlier, sis. Have your pen and paper.
I did say it, so I'm telling you, don't mean put it up because Indigo is speaking. Write it
It should
down.
be out throughout the whole video, okay?
Write it down. Okay, it needs to be symbolically aligned.
Yeah.
Right? It needs to have purpose. And most importantly, they need your full presence, like your full energy there, right? A simple ritual done with clarity is more powerful than a complicated ritual done with confusion, right? Knock on the door, turn around 3 times, slap your knee, lift your big toe, say hallelujah, and oh, Jesus, and it's gonna happen. Like, what is happening? What does that mean? You know, like, what?
Like, what the fuck did they just say?
Why I gotta do all that? You know, but so when we when we say ritual is sacred technology, that's exactly what we mean. You know what I'm saying? It is it's a technology of your consciousness. You know, a technology of your subconscious mind. It's technology of transformation, of technology of remembrance, and even technology of spiritual discipline. Right? It's how the invisible becomes visible, how your intentions become actions, or even how your energy becomes directed. Right? It is how your inner world recognizes, so the outer life can begin to reflect a new pattern. because it's transformation and you have closed that old pattern. So now you need to create a new one, right? Makes sense, right? Real simple, real practical. Practical practice, you know. And this is where I want the mystics watching to really sit with this. Okay. Listen in. Hello, pay attention. I'm talking. Okay. Your life is already ritualized. God is explaining that to you. It's already that way. So the question is whether your rituals are conscious or unconscious. Because God has explained that so beautifully. Right? Worry can become a ritual. Be mindful. Right? Repeating old stories can be a ritual. Be mindful. Checking someone's page can become a ritual. Be mindful. Should you be over there? Why are you over there? Are you stirring up old stories, ma'am, sir? Is that what we're doing?
Sister, they might be an energy vampire, and that's just a ritualistic way.
It's a ritual. It's a ritual, right? And they're in that ritual. It can be that way, but you know what? Why are we? That's when you sit with yourself. Why are we doing this? Okay. All right. Arguing with the past can become a ritual. Abandoning yourself for other people can become a ritual, right? Speaking against yourself, that negative self-talk, can become a ritual. Okay. So we can talk about spiritual practice. We are not asking whether you practice a ritual, right? You already do. We ain't asking you if you do. We already know you do. Just know what type of ritual you practicing. Okay. Because we are asking, are your rituals feeding your freedom or feeding your bondage?
Ooh, that's a good one, sis. I
like it. Ooh, bars. What you say? Bars. Write it down. Okay. Are your rituals strengthening your energy or draining it? Right? Are your rituals bringing you into alignment or keeping you attached to old versions of yourself? What is it doing?
Well, I got a good one.
What's that, guys?
Are your rituals, providing you that elevation, or is it causing your body a dis-ease?
Ooh, that's right. Come on, because dis-ease, even that word, dis-ease, break it down. Dis-ease. You are no longer in a state of ease. Right? So that's why tonight works matter. Almost felt like that didn't sound right, but I guess it is. Okay. That's why it matters, because we are not just going to be talking about it. We are preparing to practice. We are preparing to take what we learn into ritual and apply it directly to the energy body, right? Tonight, we are going to use some tools to create the ritual that we're going to do later. In a moment, guys. We ain't there yet. We got one more little segment, right? We got like one more little segment. Just give me one more thing. One more time. All right. So, rituals simply teach us how to work with the magic that has already been moving through you. And With that understanding, we are ready to move from theory into the practice in itself, right? So let's move on to this theory here. Let's talk about it. It is knowledge to practice, the ritual as sacred application. All right. So we're gonna go even deeper. We're moving in just a little bit more deeper. If you don't like it this deep, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you can't swim. You need some goggles. I don't know, but we go deep over here. All right. How do they speak to the subconscious mind and how they organize energy? This is the ritual. How it organizes energy and how symbols become a language between the seen and the unseen world. Right? This is important. We must go over this and then we're going to start our ritual, right? Or start the process because we're going to give you the complete process here of doing rituals. Now, this is where the conversation stops from being more theoretical, theory. Because occult knowledge is meant to sit in your head as information. It's not meant to sit in your head as information only. It is meant to be tested, practiced, refined, and embodied, right? You can read books all you want. You can learn the correspondences. You can memorize principles. You can study every candle, everything like I said earlier. You can do all of that. All of it. But at some point, the question is, what are we doing? The question is, what you are doing with what you know. Are you practicing? Right? That is the real threshold. Knowledge tells you what something means, right? Practice teaches you how it moves. And rituals is one of the ways we move knowledge out of the mind and into the body, the spirit, and the energetic field in itself. So tell me, why practice matters, you ask? Well, one thing I want to make clear is that ritual is not about pretending to be powerful. That's not what we're doing. It's about training yourself to become more conscious of power already. Oh, that scared me. Power already moving through you. That distinction, that really matters because a person can have candles, oils, crystals, incense, statues, robes, altars, but still have no clarity. We talked about that. You can have all of that shit and you don't know what you're doing. You're just doing something because you've seen it on YouTube. You're a follower. You're a follower. All right, you're done. No. Another person can have one candle, a quiet room, clear intentions, discipline, and create a powerful ass fucking shift in their life. Okay, that's all they had. A candle. And that was it. Focusing their attention, clear intention in their mind, clarity of where this is going. Right? The tools doesn't replace the practitioner. The tools support the practitioner, like we talked about. We already talked about the tools. I just wanted to bring that up so you can remember because we didn't brought a couple points, but don't forget that. That's important, right? But before you perform any ritual, you should always you should always question first here. What is the purpose of this work? What are we doing? Why am I doing this? Not we, but you. Say, why am I doing this? You know, these are some clear lines. This is going to bring clarity to your focus. Maybe you wanted to do some type of clearing ceremony for yourself, but you still kind of don't have it laid out. Find clarity for yourself by answering these questions for yourself, right? Ask yourself, what is the purpose? Not what looks pretty, okay? Not what sounds mysterious, or not what someone's outlined to do, right? What is the actual purpose? Are you cleansing something? Are you trying to release? Are you protecting? Are you calling something into your life? Are you honoring an ancestor? Are you restoring balance? You know, or are you marking some type of ending in your life? Are you opening up a new path? Once the purpose is clear, the ritual begins to form itself, right? So our purpose, let's talk a little bit about tonight's purpose for the rest of the night here. So our purpose is to do a energetic release, right? We are carrying forward the work from our last episode, where we talked about energetic sovereignty, right? And I've already went through that, so you know, I don't want to keep repeating myself. But this is why this particular ritual is going to fit in. It's more of a companion, but we wanted to teach you and give you some real knowledge and wisdom upon what rituals are. All right. We are using this ritual to complete the anchor that we were teaching. Energetic sovereignty is not just a concept. It is something you practice. It is something you maintain. It is something you return to when you notice your energy has been scattered, drained, entangled, or over extended, right? So working to release cords, right? Attachments basically that are no longer serving your highest alignment. And I want to be careful with that language, okay? Cord releasing is not about hate, right? It is about spiritual reverence, excuse me. It is not about trying to erase a person from existence. It's not about that. It's not what we're doing. You don't have, it's not, yeah. It's not about punishing someone energetically. You know, again, all of those things, if that's your thing, that's your thing. That's not what we're doing here. All right. It's about your energy field in itself, your peace, your access points, your life force. You know, sometimes the connection can be physical, can end physically, but continue energetically. You know, sometimes you stop talking to someone, but your nervous system is still responding to them. You ever had that happen? Sometimes relationship is over, but the memory is still feeding you. Right? So this ritual is not just about cutting a person or a thing from your life. It may be a release from a pattern, right? Some type of pattern that you've been going through and doing in your life that you're ready to give up. It may be a release, a version of yourself, excuse me, a belief, a mental, emotional loop. That's a pattern. A spiritual contract you have no longer agreed to carry consciously, you know. That is why we call this energetic cord releasing, okay, to return to self. So let's talk about the structure of a ritual, right? Because before we begin the actual ritual, we're going to do a little bit about the structure in itself. Okay. So a strong ritual does not need to be complicated. As I said, it's going to be very basic. So if you want to write down these steps, well, these are just some 3 basic movements we're going to do. You have your opening. Well, really more, I would say 4. You have your opening, then you have your invocation, the work itself, and then closing of the ritual, right? The opening prepares the space for the practitioner. The work is their intention is acted upon, is where the intention is acted upon through symbols, words, visualization, and energy. Now I'm going to go down to the that's what the work is. I skipped over the invocation particularly because I wanted to go a little bit into that a little bit deeper in one moment. Because I want to then slide into our invocation and then we'll go into the ritual. And then your closing basically seals the ritual, it grounds the energy, and it returns you fully back into ordinary awareness, right? This is one of the areas where people make mistakes. They open up an emotional, energetic state, but never close it. They call in things, but do not know how to dismiss or complete the work. They release heavy emotions, but do not ground afterwards. They stir their own field up and wonder why they feel off balance because you didn't close it. Right? In ritual practice, closing, it matters. Grounding matters. Completion matters. Right? The beginning creates the container. The middle performs the transformation, and the ending seals the shift. And this is how the ritual becomes disciplined instead of chaotic. Right. So when we do the ritual, we're using different symbols, right? Why do we use symbols? And when I mean symbols, we're going to be using your black chime candle, some salt, paper, all of those things. I'm not going to list it out. I'll let Goddess do that. So these are all symbols, right? Now, remember I told you how symbols are speaking to your subconscious. So as you have already imagined and thought to yourself and laid it out in clarity what you're going to do, now you come up with these physical symbols that you are holding physically in your hand, that you are looking at visually. That is now speaking to your subconscious. It is saying, you're letting your subconscious say, hey, listen, we're doing something here. We're making a change here. I can't hear you, Goddess. You on mute.
I'm just in the background agreeing. That's all. Just agreeing.
Okay. So I'm like, okay, chime in. But it's speaking to your subconscious, right? So let's pull this forward. I did have some notes. I was gonna go deeper into some principles, but I think you all get the gist of it. I don't want to overload you, right? I do want to talk about having a mature approach when doing any type of cord releasing, though. Hold on, I got a ringing in my ear right now.
Message.
Okay. A mature approach during cord releasing. Now, do not use this ritual as a way of spiritually attacking someone. Now, I did say that. That's your choice. You could do that, but let's be mature about it, right? Let's be grown about this. I just want to, express the backlash or what you could open up for yourself, the majority of you really don't. No, don't want that. But you know, you're the choice is yours. So let's get into this invocation right quick. Let's get into talk about just slightly quickly what an invocation is, if I can get to this next little thing here. All right. This is what we're going to use to do here.
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
All right. So what is an invocation? Because in ritual practice, invocation is one of the ways we open the ritual field with intention. Invocation is the conscious calling of a specific energy, intelligence, deity, ancestor, current, element force, or sacred principle to witness, support, and guide and empower the work we are doing, right? Invocation is not begging. Invocation is not a blind worship. Invocation is not giving your power away whatsoever. Invocation is alignment. It is attunement. It is saying, I am entering sacred work and I am choosing the energy that best reflects the purpose of this ritual. So if your ritual is about love, you may invoke an energy of compassion, beauty, or union, right? Or if your ritual is about protection, you may invoke the energy of guardianship or boundaries or strength. If your ritual is about wisdom, of course, you want to invoke energy of knowledge, of insight, discernment, or truth. And with tonight's ritual being about releasing, transformation, movement, courageous change, we are going to invoke the powerful energy of Oya. Oya is a Orisha deity, okay, in the Yoruba pantheon, and she is a force of the wind, right? She represents the storm, the clearing, the sudden shift, the energy that does not allow stagnation to remain comfortable. She is not soft in the way people often expect softness. You know what I'm saying? Okay, God, it's over there. She is the kind of sacred fierce that moves through your life and says, this has completed its purpose. In her mama voice, she says, this season is over.
I can see it, girl. Look at the image.
Has no movement. It must move. She says, this old self cannot come with you, child.
That's what that image is showing too.
She said, and that is why her energy is aligned with tonight's work. Because energetic cord releasing requires courage. It requires honesty. Definitely requires movement and a willingness to let the storm clear and that your soul has outgrown. You know what I'm saying? This is why we prepare for this invocation. I want you to understand what we're doing. We are not invoking Oya for entertainment. We are not invoking her because it sounds powerful. We are invoking her because invoking her because her current aligns with the purpose of this work. Release, realignment, transformation, movement, freedom. You know what I'm saying? Let me put me here, goddess, because I see you clicked off, and then I will go here. Okay. So we definitely pick someone who matched the current in itself, right? So before we invoke the goddess Oya and bring awareness to our bodies, let our feet feel the ground. Right? Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Mine needs to soften because I couldn't even talk for a moment. Let your breath become steady. Right? We are going to get ready to invoke the goddess Oya and invoke her over this ritual. Let her energy come to you. Let her gather this energy. O great Oya, guardian of the sacred winds, keeper of transformation, warrior of truth, mother whose storms clear the path for new beginnings. With humility and reverence, we enter this sacred space. May your winds move through every place within us where fear has taken root, where attachments has lined and lingered beyond its season, and where our lights has become hidden beneath what no longer belongs. Teach us, O great Mother Oya, the wisdom to release without bitterness. Teach us the courage to change without fear. Teach us to recognize that every ending prepares the way for a new beginning. As the winds sweep across the earth, may they also sweep through our minds, our hearts, our spirits, and our energetic field. May every cord no longer serve our highest growth, that no longer serves our highest growth, be released from with compassion. May every lesson remain, while every unnecessary burden departs. May your energy return us to purified, balanced, and whole. May we walk forward with clarity. May we stand firmly within our own sovereignty. May we honor our ancestors, respect the sacred force of nature, and move through this life with wisdom, integrity, and courage. Oya, if it is in harmony and divine order, walk beside us as we embrace this transformation. Release what no longer serves and become who we are always meant to be. All right? May our spirits remain grounded. May our hearts remain open. And may our boundaries remain strong. And so it is, and mote it be. Ashe, Aho, Dua, Amen Ra. Okay? All right. So we got Oya in here, sweeping through. Okay. And she's going to finish up that energy before we get into our next segment. Let her hit it. Hit it, oh yeah. All right. Yes. Indeed. Ashe. Okay. We got the goddess Southern here on stage. All right. Goddess, can you hear me? We can't hear you.
Me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It is going in and out. It is a little choppy. Let's see here. Okay, mystics, and that ritual is definitely powerful. We wanted to absolutely show you the practical practice of doing a ritual and how that looks in itself. And you can always go back and follow the steps and intentionally create and do your own ritual. Down the line, down the line, we will eventually get into group rituals and things of that sort. But this purpose of this particular video, as well as attaching that cord cutting, because after you watch that last episode, you will may find a need to release some cords, you know. So we wanted to give you the practical steps on basically showing you how, for those who don't know or have not seen a ritual being done in that aspect, we wanted to get that down for you. So I just wanted to, as we close out tonight's show, I wanted to give you those books that I talked about. These are the actual covers. So when you go search for your books, you're able to find these books here. They can be found easily on Amazon as well. But you have The Magician by Philip Cooper, and then The Idiot's Guide to Alchemy, and that's also The Kabbalion. As a bonus here, I actually have 3 more books I wanted to share with you all. Because as a practicing, if you want to continue to practice your magic, these are essential, right? So I wanted to give you The Power of Candle Magic by Philip Cooper. Again, another very simple, practical book, right? It's not hard. It's 1, 2, 3. Hey, do this, you get this. Do this, you get that. I mean, you know, that's as simple as we can go with that. You have Practical Sigil Magic. And, you know, down the line, we're also going to be, not down the line, within this series, we are going to be doing actual videos on candle magic, on sigil magic, right? And things of that sort, elemental magic. So, and also you have vocal magic. So that's another good book that shows you the power of your voice and speaking things into existence as well. So I wanted to give you that. And lastly, mystics, I wanted to leave you all with, of course, always an amazing journal prompt and activation. So get out your pen and paper so we can write these down here. We got 3 journal activations. Now, these journal prompts is all about you claiming your power. Number 2, releasing and renewing. Number 3, stepping into your magic. You know, these are all journal prompts that will help you to work with your subconscious and getting into these states of mind. Remember, it's all mental. And then the repetition. We want to talk about the affirmations. That's your repetition, right? I am the magic. My mind is powerful. My energy is sacred. My will creates my reality. I trust my power. You know, these affirmations, I'm not going to read them all. You see them here on the screen. But these are things you say on repeats. They become a staple. They become grounded within your subconscious, right? So I just wanted to make sure you had those mystics as we end the segment. My goddess, Southern, is having a little bit of difficulty with her camera for a moment. So she's not on the screen. However, she is here. She's listening in. And we are going to get ready to close out this episode and close out this show. Right tonight here on Goddess After Dark. I am Indigo Goddess, and Mystic Light, Goddess Mystic Light sends her love. Southern Goddess is down here waving, so she sends her love as well. And we want to say peace, and we hope that this we affirm, excuse me, that this episode had reached down into your soul and give you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that's needed to continue forth in the journey of truth and light. All right. So peace.
Peace, mystics. This is the Goddess Southern here. We are going to get started with the ritual. Before we do, I like to ensure that I have everything that I need for this ritual. Okay, I have my salts, I have my water, okay, I have my black chime candle here, I have my fireproof bowl here, I have my brown paper with my pencil. If you don't have a pencil, you can have a pen, okay? If you're just watching, you can witness. But during this witnessing, just sit and breathe to yourself and observe the structure of the ritual so that you can be ready to practice. Understand the purpose behind each step, okay? Before we begin, let's take a moment to ask ourselves, what am I truly ready to release? Think about that. What are you truly ready to release? Not what sounds good, not what your ego wants to claim. What are you actually ready to stop feeding? Okay, it may be a person, it may be a memory, it may be guilt, it may be grief, it may be fear of being alone, it may be the need for closure from someone who may never give it. It may be the version of you that kept choosing survival over peace. That today, family, I'm doing this with you, so I'm ready to release old patterns and ways that no longer exist, that no longer align, I shall say, for my highest good, okay? Let it rise in honesty. No performance, no shame, no rushing, just truth. Take a slow breath in. Hold it for a moment. Okay? And release. Again, breathe in. Let your body settle and release. One more time, breathe in. Gather yourself back into your own field and release. Now we enter the opening of the work. We call upon the sacred winds of Oya. We call upon the force of transformation. We call upon the energy that clears, protects, moves and liberates. And we begin. Okay, so now that we have our materials, before I do like to ring my bell. Opening the way, okay? The purpose is to release unhealthy energetic attachments, reclaim our energy, and return to energetic sovereignty, okay? Like I said, the materials that I have, my black chime candle with the candle holder, my bowl of salt, my piece of paper, I have my water here, my fire-safe bowl or dish, lighter or matches, you gotta have your lighter, okay? So, as you have your materials, this is how you should have your setup. Candle in front of you, a bowl of salt. Let's put it off to your left hand. Bowl of water off here to the right. I have my paper and my pencil right here, and I have me in the center, okay? Candle should be the sacred. Candle should be secured in a holder, okay? So, you know, just like this, it's nice and secure in the holder. The fire safe dish should be close by if you plan to burn or symbolically release the paper. Okay, so I have my bowl here off to the side. Okay. We are performing an energetic cord releasing ritual. This is not about harming anyone, controlling anyone, or seeing negative energy toward anyone. Let me say that again. This is not about harming anyone, controlling anyone, or sending negative energy toward another person. This is about reclaiming our own energy. We are releasing unhealthy attachments, emotional loops, old patterns, energetic drains, and anything that no longer has rightful access to our field. The black candle represents protection and transformation. The salt represents cleansing, grounding, and boundaries. The paper represents conscious acknowledgement. The flame represents awareness and transmutation. Step 1 for this ritual, family, we're going to ground the body. Place both feet on the floor or sit comfortably. Before we begin, we shall say, take a few moments to breathe deep. Take in slow breath through the nose, family. Hold it for a moment and release through the mouth. Let's take 2 more breaths in. Think about what it is that you want to release and prepare yourself to share that intention with you, internally you. You don't have to speak it out loud. This is your moment to speak to self internally, okay? Take a few moments to just breathe deep, pause, and allow yourself to be grounded. Now, let's set the intention. Bring your awareness into your body. Feel yourself present. Feel your energy returning back to you, especially after you take a deep breath in and release. Tonight, our intention is simple. Repeat after me. I release what no longer serves my highest alignment. I reclaim the energy that belongs to me. I return to myself whole, grounded, and sovereign. We're going to say that 2 more times. I release what no longer serves my highest alignment. I reclaim the energy that belongs to me. I return to myself whole, grounded, and sovereign. Again, I release what no longer serves my highest alignment. I reclaim the energy that belongs to me. I return to myself whole, grounded, and sovereign. Okay, family. Now, step 3. Light the black candle. Light the black chime candle. And we're going to say this together. Repeat after me. I light this flame as a symbol of awareness. May this flame reveal what is ready to be released. May it transform what has completed its lesson. May it illuminate the path back to my own power. Pause. Observe the flame for a bit. And we're going to say that 2 more times. I light this flame as a symbol of awareness. May this flame reveal what is ready to be released. May it transform what has completed its lesson. May it illuminate the path back to my own power. Again, I light this flame as a symbol of awareness. May this flame reveal what is ready to be released. May it transform what has already completed its lesson. May it illuminate the path back to my own power. Okay, this next step, we are going to write what is being released. On your paper, write down what you are ready to release. This may be a person's name, a relationship, a memory, a fear, a habit, a belief, an emotional attachment, an old version of yourself, or a pattern that keeps pulling from your energy. Be honest with yourself. This is not for anyone else to see. This is between you, your spirit, and the work. All right, I'm going to give you a few moments to write this down. Okay, don't write from rage, write from truth. We are not attacking, we are acknowledging. Take a few moments to write this down. Take a few moments to write what you feel. Okay, now we have written out what we wanted to release, and we have fully acknowledged what it is that we want to release. We are going to touch the salt lightly with our fingertips, and we are going to say, repeat after me, salt of earth, symbol of cleansing and boundary, remind me that my energy is sacred. My body has a boundary. My spirit has a boundary. My heart has a boundary. My field has a boundary. I release what is not mine to carry. I reclaim what belongs to me. Okay. Let's recite that 2 more times. Salt of earth, symbol of cleansing and boundary. Remind me that my energy is sacred. My body has a boundary. My spirit has a boundary. My heart has a boundary. My field has a boundary. I release what is not mine to carry. I reclaim what belongs to me. Again, salt of earth, symbol of cleansing and boundary. Remind me that my energy is sacred. My body has a boundary. My spirit has a boundary. My heart has a boundary. My field has a boundary. I release what is not mine to carry. I reclaim what belongs to me. We're going to visualize these chords. Close your eyes, family, if you feel comfortable. Bring to your mind the person, pattern, memory, emotion, or even attachment written on your paper without judgment. Simply observe it. Now imagine an energetic cord connecting to that attachment. Notice where it is connected as you're visualizing this. Where in the body is it connected? It may be at the heart, the stomach, the throat, the womb, the back, the mind, or somewhere else in your field. You do not have to force anything, just observe. Pause a bit while you're observing. Now imagine that cord beginning to loosen, not violently, not with anger, but with authority. See your energy returning back to you through that cord. See anything that does not belong to you returning to its rightful place. The lesson remains, the wisdom remains, but the attachment begins to dissolve. Now, say this slowly, and you can repeat after me if you desire. With awareness, I release this attachment. With compassion, I return what is not mine. With authority, I call my energy back to me. I release every cord, bond, loop, and pattern that no longer serves my highest good. I do not release the wisdom. I do not reject the lesson. I release the energetic drain. My energy is sacred. My spirit is sovereign. My body is grounded. My heart is free. What is mine returns to me. What is not mine leaves in peace. And so may it be. Ashe. 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 You have an option to release the paper, okay? And this is how you release this paper. Depending on, you know, how you feel and your fire safety at home, okay? Now, I'm going to say option A, tear the paper up. Tear the paper up. If you decide to tear the paper up, say, if you want, if you cannot burn the paper safely, tear it into small pieces. Let every tear represent the dissolving of that energetic attachment. While tearing, say, piece by piece, I release. Breath by breath, I return. I am no longer bound to what no longer serves me. This is for those who choose to tear the paper up. Piece by piece, I release. Breath by breath, I return. I am no longer bound to what no longer serves me. If you are going to burn your paper, just like myself, place your paper into the fire safe dish and allow the flame to consume it. Okay, while it's burning, visualize it. I like to fold mine. I have a piece of paper that's different, so for me, I'm gonna fold this away from me. The materials I have for my fire safety, I'm going to do this for fire safety purposes, but me folding it away from me is another form of releasing it, okay? As it burns, visualize the attachment dissolving, not into harm, not into chaos, but into completion. While burning, we will say, this is complete. This is released. This no longer has access to my energy. And place mine here. This is complete. This is released. This no longer has access to my energy. I'm going to cite that one more time, okay? Making sure that you get a full view as to what it looks like to put it into the burning bowl. This is complete. This is released. This no longer has access to my energy. We're going to seal it with breath. Place one hand over your heart and place the other hand over your lower stomach. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you do that, imagine your energy returning to your body. Exhale and release the old attachments. We're going to take a few moments of breath with one hand over the heart and one hand over our stomach. Breathing in and breathing out as we envision and seeing our power come back into our safe, sacred space. We have now reclaimed our power. Washing away what no longer serves. Allow yourself a moment to call that power back. Feel your energy come back to you. Yeah. Ooh, my burning bowl is pretty small. It's pretty small, family. I'm allowing it to do its thing. It's okay. Let's keep going with the ritual. I like to view my flame and watch. Watch what no longer serves me. Go into completion. Now let's say, I am whole within myself. My energy belongs to me. My spirit is protected. My boundaries are honored. My heart is opened. My field is sovereign. What has been released is released. What is mine has returned. I leave this ritual grounded, clear, and free. So more be. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Allow your piece of paper to continue to burn out. If so, be sure you have a window open so the smoke can release itself out the room. That's another way to symbolically release these energetic fields, allowing the wind to take it away, and you make beautiful peace with it. Okay, now we're going to extinguish this candle. This is my version of extinguishing the candle. If you have a candle extinguisher where you can place it over the candle, we don't want to blow it out. We just want to extinguish it. And now we say, we now close this ritual, place and space with gratitude. The work is sealed, the energy is grounded, the release is complete. After this ritual, family, be sure to drink water. Allow yourself to rest when you need to. Journal what comes up. Pay attention to your dreams, emotions, and shifts over the next few days. Sometimes release is immediate. Sometimes the body and spirit continue to process afterwards. Be gentle with yourself. With gratitude, family, this concludes our ritual. We give thanks to Goddess Oya. We give thanks to all the beautiful ancestors. We give thanks to those who participated in the ritual, those who called and reclaimed their power back. We give thanks, and we are truly abundant, and we have elevated from this with beautiful energy. As we continue to hold ourselves accountable in truth, we continue to rise in the most loving and understanding way for self-love, self-authenticity, and self-sovereignty. That's all this evening. You have a good one, family. Peace.
Got this at the dog.